Big Finish Audio, the Paternoster Gang, Spring-Heeled Jack. Roll the wheel, and this time it lands on Alien. Again, it mostly lands on Alien.
It's Doctor Who related.
Ghost. They didn't think it was a ghost this time.
Oh, yeah. It was a legend. Yeah.
Well, yes, but not a ghostly legend.
Yes.
An urban legend. And a Lois Lane of the Victorian era.
Yeah, a less likable Lois Lane.
That gets erased. So
Yeah.
nobody remembers her.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Baxter liked her enough to get her wifey jealous.
Oh, and it just gives me the idea of, like, okay, translate this to modern times, but, like, inside, like, a Superman comic, and it actually happens to Lois Lane. And nobody remembers who Lois Lane is. Like, what happened? How do you get Superman to do anything?
Oh my god.
Yeah, but
He has two weaknesses to talk about: Lois Lane and kryptonite. Just everybody's got kryptonite now.
yeah, but the problem I have with that, like, if they are meaningful people, that erasure would cause a lot of problems.
Well, yeah, but it also, in this era, I don't think it'll make as much of a splash. Like, if you tried it in modern era, it would create a lot more ripples because people are a lot more interconnected. But
Yeah.
back then, like, you erase the fishmonger, they go to pick up their fish. You erase their memory. You erase their boss's memory. You know, like, and you're also pulling her from the time stream when she was gonna die anyway. So
Yeah,
you know,
but
that's not gonna affect the future, but it will in that way. But yeah, I mean, I guess maybe articles just don't have a byline. You don't know who that person who wrote it. But at that point, the effect has already been kind of made, and people, other than archivists, not a lot of people are hanging on to their old copies of the newspaper anyway. So it depends on what they did and how they're pulling them out, when they're pulling them out of the timeline, and what they did, what they were important about.
yeah. I wasn't meaning her specifically. I just meant as a general
Yeah.
take people out of time.
Yeah. For the most part, I don't think it's not as big a deal as it was, but then again, this is also sort of a this has already happened, so it's not going to affect it. It affects what it could have been, but it doesn't affect what the timeline is, because that already happened. It's always happened. It's just a matter of then again, that does bring up the problem of, has it always happened if he knew that that person would die, and then he changes it so they don't die, then it didn't always happen, and it might affect the future, but maybe not. Oh no, my eyes have gone cross-eyed.
Ah, the beauty of temporal mechanics.
I hate temporal mechanics. I know that wasn't a great Chief O'Brien.
Ah, the beauty of wibbly wobblies.
Wibbly wobbly, tummy wobble, baby.
Let's not talk about your wibbly wobbly stuff, okay?
Wibbly wobbly.
No, don't. Just don't, please. For all that is
Don't
good,
do that.
no.
Don't ever do that.
I personally want to know what the incident with the ducks was.
The incident with the ducks?
Yeah, it's like my advanced technology can scan anything, except the incident with the ducks. Like there was a malfunction.
The noodle incident.
You don't want to know. You
It was
just
so
don't.
traumatizing. It's not worth talking about.
And surprisingly, he was like only my second favorite character in this audio drama.
Your favorite was the reporter, wasn't it?
No, for some reason I really liked the fisherman.
Oh,
This is what you call banter.
What?
yeah.
Boy,
Those
ladder.
fishermen were fun.
So this is kind of episode related, kind of not. Someone was listening to episode. This was kind of a short episode actually. I was still doing work, and then it went over to the behind the scenes stuff. And one of my favorite lines they said was, "Yeah, I love Drax because he's like the perfect exposition machine. It's like, boy, ladder."
Yeah, especially when you're dealing with an audio format and you have to explain everything. Having somebody that is very literal is
Yeah.
very helpful.
Yeah, because you don't have to worry about like saying the wrong kind of words for it and shit, because it's just he'll say it like it is.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to concoct some context clues to make it obvious what you're going after. It's like, hand me that letter, boy. Something like that. It's just,
'Cause sometimes it just is a little too obvious that they're phrasing it for an audio.
but you can't get around that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
there's no way to help that. Otherwise, you won't be able to know what you're supposed to be seeing.
yeah, you'd have to do a boatload of context clues in order to make it, without having to actually say what's going on. And they do
Yeah,
have the advantage with audio of, if something's sort of dank and wet and stuff, they can have water dripping from the ceiling, or they can, if they need a bustling city street, they can put some people talking in the background and shoveling around stuff and ringing bells and whatnot. And they do have that advantage. I guess it's sort of interesting, the book to audio to TV. Like, book, you have to sit there, you have to basically have a narrator, because otherwise
Oh yeah.
it doesn't work.
yeah.
um and then the you get to audio, where it's written from the beginning to be audio. You don't, in this particular one, you don't have a narrator. So you have to write your people to narrate, and you have to do sound design around what you're trying to get the people to understand. Are you near a river? Well, there's going to be some flowing water. You can hear flowing water as it goes by. You'll hear, fish or birds or something that would be around the water. You have to sort of set the scene with how you
The
design the
sound.
audio, what the sound design. And then and then TV, you could just explicitly say it's a full experience other than smell, but
Uh-huh.
and taste. But
Unless you lick the screen like the doctor does.
Yeah.
I I don't remember who did that.
10th Doctor.
It's been a while.
I think he licked the screen in the one with the with in the 50s where they like
The idiot's lantern or
it,
something like that.
where they were like sucking out people's brains.
Yeah, I think it's idiot or something.
Idiot
The
lantern or
internet.
something. It
Yeah.
was basically Madrox's thing.
Hey,
Oh,
I'm not
cheap
an
shots.
idiot. I'm just blissfully ignorant. I'm kidding. I think.
You do?
You know what these aliens kind of reminded me of? Um, they
Twice upon
reminded
a
me of those. I forget the name of the aliens, but they're the aliens in the new Doctor Who that watch over people before they died.
Yeah, twice the glass people and Twice Upon a Time.
Yeah, them.
No, I think you're talking about something else.
No.
Not Twice Upon a Time, because that was Twice Upon a Time was the one where 12 meets 1.
Yeah, and they had those glass people that
Oh yeah, okay, that one. Okay, I was thinking of a
right
whole
before they
other
died.
one that they were that was 13, that they were thought to be assassins, but no, they
Yeah,
were
that's what
actually.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Which one? Because I think I've forgotten most of.
The one with the 13 Whitaker Doctor. Kind of. It took place. Shit, when did it take place? There was like a whole thing,
It's the
like,
one with the Pakistan India
yeah,
split.
Oh,
that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're not the same aliens. They just kind of reminded me of them.
Yeah.
Aliens of the Punjab.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you got it. Yeah, I was looking it up, but yeah.
Demons of the Punjab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was surprisingly that close together. They had two aliens that could be described in the same way in that regard.
Honestly, I think the glass aliens were a little more accurate. Were a little more like it. So
Yeah, just sort of similar ideas, but not exactly reminiscent, as it were. Strax's armor is watertight.
of
Apparently,
course.
it's like it's very filthy down here.
Well, that's where all the fish pee, and where all the humans put their waste.
Yeah, well, if it's the Thames, that's
Yeah. The Thames be London's toilet.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
They
fairly.
actually used to have like ramps almost that went from the latrines in people's houses down to the Thames. And at one point, the smell got so bad that there was like an air quality hazard, and it stank so bad people died from the smell.
Yeah, and not to mention all the cholera and all that.
Oh yeah, the cholera and all the and the TB and all of that shit. Literally.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a good
So
time to be in the countryside.
Oh yeah.
So something's been really bothering me. Okay, so I get how Madame Vastra's there because she's really old, so that makes sense. How is the other one there?
Jenny?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think we were over this before.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, we saw her at at Demon's Run, but at that point, I think she was already with Vastra, and
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly. I don't. We may never have been shown them getting together. We were just sort of
Oh, I'm not wondering how
told.
they got together. I'm just wondering how she ended up in that time period.
She may be of that time period.
She just seems way too smart.
Well, I mean, if you're Vastra
Look
and
at
you're
her
looking for
body.
someone for companionship, you're going to find somebody very clever.
True. And Drax just got thrown in the middle.
Drax got adopted.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
their puppy.
Drax is their adopted son.
But yeah, we mean I don't. Maybe in some obscure thing or something I don't remember. I don't think they ever
I
showed how they met, but we just sort
I
of
don't
assumed that they met because I think we don't really ever see them before. Was it 12? 12 is we like. Well, no, we see them in 11. We don't see them in their own time period until 12, I think.
No, we see them in 11 because we see them in
Yeah.
Impossible Girl.
In what?
In the first don't we see them when with Clara when she's in the past when the other Clara and he's pretending to be Sherlock Holmes. It was one of the Christmas specials.
Oh, the
Yeah.
snowman. I forgot about that one. Maybe I don't remember if she shows up in the snowman.
I don't know because isn't that she was with them. She was there to recover, but she didn't recover.
Well, it still wouldn't have been the first time I think we saw. That would may have been
Well,
the
no,
first
the first time
time.
we saw it was Demon's Run, but
Yeah,
I
that's the
don't know
first
how they
time.
got to the past from Demon's Run, or even if I have no idea. It's all wibbly wobbly.
Yes, it's far too wibbly wobbly to concern ourselves with. Suffice it to say, she is her companion.
No, she is her wife.
uh,
She's the missus.
uh,
I love how like so many people just seem so fine with it. It's like back then you'd think, wait, you're gay? You would think because, that's the Victorian times were not a very forgiving place. But
well, and I think it
the
it
fact that she's a lizard, but the whole veil
yeah,
kind of
it may have
covered.
been, they don't like they might have had, how to say that, but it's
I think I broke down.
Euphemisms were probably pretty heavy in that, like, oh, they're quite good friends. They're, that sort of thing. It would have been something like that's how people would have discussed it with each other, but they may not have gone explicitly to say, "Oh, that's her wife." They may not have. Other people might not have. Vastrom probably would, but
Well,
other
I mean,
people might.
Vastra and her have
Yeah,
like
yeah,
straight
but
up.
like, yeah,
She's the
on an everyday basis, like, oh yeah, they would have, but usually didn't done that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of, and they were just roommate. They were constant companions. When they write about it in history books, it's always, oh yeah, they were very close. They spent a lot of
like
time together. you know,
yeah,
yeah, it's usually,
they're special friends.
yeah, historically,
Fish.
it's almost always euphemistic as, oh yes, she was her companion. She was very, they were very close. They lived together for many years. they, just sort of a lot of wink, wink, you but yeah, I don't know, but
My favorite part is like, you have not gone through the rigorous training yet, but you're pretty smart for reptilian. It's like, thank you.
considering he's smarter than he is.
Yes.
You shall
For-
live another day.
Thank you. I didn't realize I wasn't going to live another day. I was kind of expecting to live another day.
Well, uh,
And this is why I have one more statement. This is why you don't flush your pet crocodiles down the sewers.
Uh,
how about just
hmm.
just don't get a pet crocodile in the first place. It's a really bad idea because
Yeah,
they get
maybe
big.
a caiman, maybe a one of those small caiman, but not a full-fledged
I
croc.
wouldn't even necessarily bother with that, because they've got special care, and
Yeah,
if you don't,
reptiles are.
it's not only bad for you,
You know,
but it's also bad for the animal.
Yeah.
that brings up an interesting thing. Um, how many people are getting pet crocodiles in the first place?
Probably fewer now, but still an unnerving number.
Yeah.
Florida.
Oh, I know. Everybody in Florida.
Yeah.
Well, that just sort of, it's less a pet, but just sort of what's in the neighborhood.
Oh, it's not a crocodile, it's my cat.
Mom, it followed me home.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, it's not a pet. It's just sort of,
I
it lives
swear
in
it
the
followed me.
backyard.
You know you're going to have to take care of it. I know, but once it's fully grown, we can fry it up and it'll be yummy. And you can get your own leather purse out of it.
Just don't name it, you'll get attached. Like your new belt to your waist.
Chompy
Well,
gone done took my arm off.
First, first rule of the farm, don't name the animals.
Eh, eh.
hmm,
I mean, if you're not intending on eating them, it's probably fine. Like a horse, probably not intending on eating the horse.
I don't
well,
know. Some people do.
Yeah, I mean, but mostly, in the West, they're probably not going to eat the horse. They're probably going to send it to the
Glue
people,
factory.
yeah, basically the glue factory, the people that take the horse and make sure that everything is used but the whinny. Yeah, that sort of brutally efficient. But that's good. Efficient's good. You need to use as much of it as you can. But yeah, I mean, you can get attached to a horse because you're probably not going to slaughter it for food. It probably just it's gonna because it's a work animal, not a food animal.
You know, pigs are the either the best or worst animals to have because they don't really do much. You can't drink their milk. All you really use them for is meat, and even then, I wouldn't trust that. But
hmm.
you could also use them as garbage disposals because you could dispose of bodies really easily in that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
people talk about like throwing the body to the dogs. No, no, no. Dogs won't eat the bone and won't eat the entire body. A
yeah.
pig eat the entire body except any metal in there.
Yeah, and yeah, they'll live on scraps. You can they'll eat basically almost anything. They're so
Yeah,
omnivorous, they will eat basically anything. So
there
it
have actually been cases of farmers who fell into the pig pen, like had a heart attack or couldn't get out for some reason, and the pigs ate them
yep,
completely.
yeah, but
So on one hand they're useful, but on the other hand, they're kind of useless as a farm product as far as like all you really get is pork, and pork is disgusting. So
depends on your
Boink,
point
boink.
of your
although
taste.
they do make good human analogs.
Hmm.
Also, they taste like humans, so And you could actually use their skin as a graft for burn victims. My uncle has pig skin grafts when he was burned as a kid.
I bet he smells like bacon.
Only when you rile him up.
Only in the summer.
Well,
Gets a nice
to-
crispy crust.
to end this lovely review, I just have one thing to say.
That is one big duck.
Zandara.
Oh.
Ah.
Okay.